Kimberly Guilfoyle bounced back from COVID. She caught it, I think, at that great big speech, which was spectacular, by the way, out at Mount Rushmore. Kimberly, how are you? You look great. What's new?
Thank you. Yes, and obviously, thoughts and prayers going out to Stephen Miller and his wife. If you recall, his wife has already had the coronavirus, and he tested negative, I guess, up until now. So, yes, he is very strong. He's tough, and obviously, we're thinking about him. We're thinking about Kayleigh McEnany. But the positive news tonight is that the president is doing very well, thanks be to God, and so is our incredible First Lady. The president, even tweeting out what feels like 20 years younger. So that's very good news, and I hope it's optimistic for everybody out there, a little bit of positivity to say that we can get through this together as a country. I know what it's like. I had it. I tested positive, and I was able to use those therapeutics, many of the same ones that the president utilized to be able to bring his road to recovery to a positive, conclusion. And I just want Americans out there to know that we empathize with you. We think about what you've gone through, your families. And, the president really has put himself right there on the front line, trying out some of these therapies on himself as well. And I think we know as a country, we're going to be stronger coming out the other end of this. And I'll tell you something, we've got a vaccine that will be ready before you even know it. So I think it's a little bit of positivity, going through all of this right now. And we figured out a lot in a very quick order, thanks to President Trump and our great vice president, who is heading up the coronavirus task force.
Hey, so Kimberly, look, got 11 people now in the administration tested positive all at once. Look, I've had people come to me. I've wondered before they even came to me, is anyone on your team talking about sabotage here? I mean, this happened all at once. I've seen the folks at the White House following generally the precautions, although there were a lot of people at that Judge Barrett event. But is anyone talking about that? Is that remotely a possibility, or am I insane?
I'm not going to say you're insane. I just think that
Thank you.
Not on live television. No, but what I think is that obviously it seems to be that the vector was at the ceremony for Amy Coney Barrett when he was announcing her as his pick. But nevertheless, think about it. These people are working, day in and day out, obviously in close proximity, but they have been very vigilant. These things are going to happen because, they're still testing all the time. Everybody tested, just like when we were at the debate. We tested at Andrews Air Force Base before even boarding Air Force One. All of us tested negative. Don Jr. and I continue to be negative. So all of this is, positive in terms of, hey, look, we're doing the things that we need to be doing. We're taking the precautions. People need to make individual and personal responsibility choices about how they feel safe. Wear a mask. Hand sanitizer. We're doing temperature checks. We make masks available at all of our events. So we're following the rules. We're following the protocol and respecting the rules of each individual state that we go in on. And I'll tell you something, Operation MAGA is full force in effect. We're back out on the road tomorrow. Don, myself, Eric, Laura, and our great vice president, who will be having an incredible debate.
Awesome. Kimberly, we saw you, one of the most exclusive seats in the world, inside the debate hall. We saw it a moment ago, and we'll show you again coming into the room. Pretty amazing. Have you heard your former Fox News colleague, Chris Wallace, and my former colleague, Chris Wallace, just acting like the hall monitor 4 days after he blew the debate because he wasn't fair? Everybody knows that. Kind of talking about how people were behaving in the room. I find it kind of ridiculous, eyes behind his head. And how do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, we followed all the rules. So if anybody is saying something else, they're dead wrong. We followed the rules. We tested negative. We were social distancing. You saw me right there with the mask on with the rest of the First family. Everybody that we passed by, we had a mask on. And then when we got to our seats, then we took our masks off. And again, we were socially distanced, sitting far apart from each other within that particular area. So you see I'm sitting there next to Laura, but again, we're social distancing. So we followed all the rules, and what else can we say about it? This is nothing new. The level of attacks always on the president, on the family, and we're here to just tell the truth and to reassure Americans at home. You've got a great commander-in-chief in this president, and look how quickly he was able to battle back. So that is very positive for this country in general.
The truth is getting through. I was appalled by Chris Wallace waiting a couple of days and trying to make that an issue instead of his, let's face it, totally biased and unobjective performance. But you don't have to go there. I just did. Let's go ahead.
Well, I heard one story that we arrived late to Cleveland, and that's why we didn't test. That is absolutely false. We were there hours ahead of time and in a controlled room, all of that, and we followed all the rules. So anybody who says otherwise is totally mistaken.
Well, that's Chris Wallace for you. Totally mistaken. Again, I want to show you this. We've got it from the governor of Puerto Rico. He has come out for Donald Trump. And I think we got the statement. Let's put it up here. This is Governor Vasquez. I ask all Puerto Ricans who are listening to go vote. They have to go vote. Where's the part that she gets up to Donald? Okay, good. It's at the end there. Puerto Ricans and their needs at this most difficult moment, and it is Donald Trump. That is the person who can get the job done. The fake news told us that Puerto Rico was really upset with Donald Trump in the wake of the hurricane. But
as a proud Puerto Rican woman, I can tell you I wholeheartedly concur with the governor's wise choice. President Trump has been fantastic to Puerto Ricans, okay? And there's 250,000 Puerto Ricans that live in Florida. We're going to beat Biden in Florida. We're going to beat him with Cubano Americans, Puerto Rican Americans, all the above. It's going to be fantastic. And I'll tell you, he is way ahead now with Latino votes. And because guess what? He has earned and deserves their vote. Record low unemployment for Latinos in this country under President Trump. And they want somebody who's going to help lead the great American comeback. They're hardworking people with traditional values, God-fearing people. And President Trump is the choice for them.
I just got an idea as we go to break. Kimberly Guilfoyle, Attorney General in the second Trump term. You're qualified. You got
now you're going to make the liberal heads explode.
That would be fun. Kimberly Guilfoyle, we appreciate it so much. Best to Don Jr. and the family. Take care now.
All right. Thank you. Take care.
You bet. You bet.